Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Seer Saturday. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. I certainly am. And looks like Kel just hit a 3-stream streak and got a new statue of Hathor, which I'll post in the Discord, which I'm looking forward to seeing. Anyway, it's so good to be here. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Excuse me. I really needed to have a bit of a slow start today, even though I did technically start on time. But just, I think between the cold and the rain today, I've just been feeling a little bit tired. So figured a slower start would be a good idea. And I decided to clear up the queue this time because a lot of them have been on the list for more than a week. So figured I'd keep the queue nice and open for you guys. When you jump in, you'll be able to do so. So I figure if we start with a little bit of a nice smoke cleanse of cedar would be a nice way of opening up a little bit. Just to get some cobwebs out of the system here. Oh, excuse me. I've been feeling a bit tired. I figured it would help with the readings tonight, too. Also, I am very happy to say that as of today, I am halfway on my coffee goal. I'm just halfway there. I'm super happy to say that because I know that was it's feeling kind of touch and go in recent months. But thankfully, right now it's been doing pretty well. So I think most of like the immediate expenses are almost done. I just bought myself my insurance. Um, I'm debating whether to get the hotel that I'm going to stay in, either like early on or closer to. I think I might try early on. I'm still trying to figure out like what location to do it in. But regardless, thankfully we have enough funds. I have enough funds for that. And then the rest of the fundraising for the rest of for the 50% down here, it's mostly for what I'm going to live off of when I'm there for the next 5 weeks. So that's the main thing. Like the hardest part, the hardest part's nearly over. It's just the other part of what I'm going to live on. That's the part I have to figure out while I'm there. So that's what I've been saving up for bit by bit. So keep in mind as well, some of it's also like what I've been trying to make personally. Like I've been trying to do more tarot lines, and well, doing this also helps too, bit by bit. But I'm trying not to make this the main. Okay, that was weird. Okay, sorry about that. But I'm trying not to make this like the main deal when it comes to what I talk about on this channel. I want to focus more on the things that you came here in the first place, which is the games and the cards. And maybe the occasional nerd out. Alright, so I got some incense going here. My bell decides to chime into the party. Hello. Don't think y'all are hearing that because of the noise canceling filters, but it's okay. And just got this last bit of cobwebs out. Okay. All right. So we are in card pulling land right now. So we just opened up for a little bit of a nice safe container for us to begin our readings. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the readings for today. So for those who are, I mean, a lot of the people who have tuned into this channel, y'all are not new at this, but there have been a lot of new people tuning in. So there have been a lot of new people tuning into the channel. So I would like to at least break it down for people so that way for those who are new to this, you're not too confused. So here's what you got. So I've got a queue. Oh wow. And that's about that's like my next to last day in Japan too. That's funny. Birthday's on 17th July, and then Egyptian New Year's on the 18th of July, which is when I'm coming back actually. So it was a past year child. Oh man. And one of my cousins is born the 31st of December. So totally understandable. And she was just a few minutes short of being a New Year's baby. So if she just stayed there for just a little bit longer, she would have been a New Year's kid. On the other hand, though, that's a lot to put on a kid, regardless whether you're born on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, because whoo-wee. But anyway, so here's how it works. So I have at least in Twitch, I have a thing called Play with Viewers. So all you need to do is just type in ! join if you want to jump in the queue. And then I have channel points where you can get more specific in terms of what you'd like me to pull for you. I do tarot, I do oracle, I have runes as well. Clow or Sakura cards. You can pull those. I also could do something I like to call a chakra checkup, where I could just check up on like with your permission, check up on your energy and stuff. Or you can just ask me to like pull whatever you feel like works best with your question. Then In terms of this, you can ask me pretty much anything you want. There's a few parameters that I ask that you honor when you do this. Is I don't like to do third-party surveillance. Um, Third-party surveillance, like things like, is this person thinking of me in this certain way, or is this person cheating on me? Those kinds of third-party surveillance I don't like doing because it's presuming too much, and that's oftentimes not how my skills work. Yeah, it's not really how my skills work. I'm not really predictive in that fashion. I could do a vibe check, but not a presumption as to what they're thinking. Because that's what I prefer doing. I also don't do health questions unless it's like more so like what to consider while recovering, or the vibe I should be looking for. We're looking for a health team, for example, but nothing like disease related because I'm not a healthcare expert. So that kind of stuff. And most importantly, I want you to have a bit of fun. I also want you to respect your free will. So if anything that I pull does not vibe with you, throw it out the window. Throw it out the window. Ultimately, it's your decision what you want to do with the information once I pull it out to you. Okay? So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what we got here. So with Kel, you're my first person of the day, and you want tarot. So you've been having a really good Hathor related day. Does she have any messages for you? Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I know some tarot readers are not a fan of pulling for deities. I actually don't mind that. I actually don't mind doing that. For some interesting reason. Yeah, I have heard she's pretty sweet. Like, she actually was one of the first goddesses to come up when it came to goddess readings. I got like a reading from my mentor Sema Corral before she became my mentor, actually, and one of the first cards that came up through this 9-card goddess oracle reading was from Hathor, and she was like this super compassionate, gentle mother figure. Like, she was like, listen, you need to stop underestimating yourself, okay? It's like she's like, like life is to be enjoyed, and I'm giving you permission to enjoy it, okay? And I was like, yes, ma'am. Stop underestimating yourself. That's like the news I've been getting. Interestingly, for some reason, Kel, I am feeling like taking this one for a spin. This is one I've never really used before. It's the Golden Dawn Tarot, and for some reason, it just wants to emerge today. So, let's see. So, I'm gonna... Yes. Yes, absolutely. Which makes sense. Yeah, my dad's favorite deity is Anubis. Like, he's seen him quite a lot. Yeah, cows are sweet. Cows are super sweet creatures. Okay, I say it's Anubis, and I could see why. Who's this pretty interesting, wise figure, and also very loyal. I like Isis, you've probably seen, and she is, I mean, her along with her sister, her symbol along with her sister Nephthys is the kite, which is like a falcon-like bird of prey, falcon or hawk-like bird of prey. So it kind of makes sense when you think about it, that she would have wings, like both of them would have wings. You always say Natus. Okay. And I know, like, Isis is all set. And she is the goddess of 10,000 names, so you're referring to her in a lot of ways, whether you know it or not. Okay. So, this is my first time. This is my first time using this deck, so I hope y'all are a bit more understanding here, but it just, for some reason, for Kel, it just wants to, like, take me for a spin, take me for a spin. I was like, okay. Alright, so here we go. So, the first card that came up was the King of Wands. Missing Lead of the New Dawn. Interesting. You're gonna have to send me your sources, because I'm curious. I'm curious where you find these. But yeah, the King of Wands popped up. According to this deck, active, generous, fierce, sudden, and impetuous. If ill-dignified, he is evil-minded, cruel, bigoted, and brutal. Ancient sites? Okay, you got it. Yeah, I'm feeling with the King of Wands, especially, like, for the way that he's illustrated in this deck, he very much has this vibe of, he reminds me so much of Thor from the MCU, especially with the cape. Really reminds me of that. And I'm feeling the sense of, like, it's okay to, like, pursue more of the dreams that you've had in your life, be more active, or even just let yourself be a bit more relaxed and free with what it is that you want, because it's meant for you, and what's meant for you will not pass you by. So that's one message I'm getting here. Other messages I'm getting for you, we got the 10 of Wands, which is an interesting pattern on this one, and it's a pip deck a little bit, which means, so we're going to pay attention to what that is, and it might be more brick based. And then we got the Fool with this one. Kind of reminds me of the Fool, the way it's illustrated in this deck reminds me of Romulus and Remus, like being raised by wolves. So 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands. Generosity, self-sacrifice, and disinterestedness when well dignified. Yeah, I don't know. So far, I'm not connecting to the meanings in this book, which is kind of interesting considering that this called me out, but yet it's really weird. And then the Fool. Idea, thought, spirituality, that which endeavors to rise above the material, if the subject is which is inquired about be spiritual, which it is. If divination refers to a material event or ordinary life, this card is not good and shows folly, stupidity, eccentricity, and even mania, and was offset by very good cards. It is too ideal and unstable to be generally good at material things. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling the vibe of this deck. It's really odd. I think it's just more so like this deck just doesn't really fit from what I'm feeling, but with King of Wands, I'm feeling more Thor vibes. And then the Fool, I'm getting Romulus and Remus vibes. So it's like trying to find some different kind of nurturing. But I think I might go back to my usual deck, because Golden Dawn, it's just not... Yeah, I don't know why. It's just not hitting right. As much as I wanted to like it. Yeah, don't worry, Cal. I'm gonna switch to a different deck. That doesn't feel right. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, let me try this one. I feel like this one might give me a better message here, because Golden Dawn just wasn't hitting right. Because everything was kind of hitting. I think it was probably the way that the book was written, but it just felt more malefic than it was beneficial. And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't sound right. Okay. Thor might have popped up because I was considering getting a Mjolnir ring today, but I didn't because it didn't fit. I felt dirty touching it. Hello, Jack School. Yeah, for context, well, Kel is really into the Neteru, or like Egyptian spirituality, like Kemeticism, and apparently the Egyptian New Year is happening July 18th. So, by that standard, you're a New Year's kid. Pretty interesting, right? Okay. These ones sound a bit more, I think a bit more what you're looking for. So, I got the Page of Pentacles. And Page of Pentacles is very much a call for you to pay attention to your self-knowledge and your inner wisdom. Especially, again, I'm still getting the vibe of like pursuing your dreams and giving those things a due diligence and a passion. And the only thing I learned about Hathor, at least like the way that she's come up for me, because obviously it could be different for you since you're a lot more into it than I have been, is the other thing that she has come up for me. It's like it's very much about like pleasure in the moment, and so it's very much a call for you to be much more present at this time, and especially if there's a tendency to get stuck in certain mental patterns to the point of maybe panic, as indicated by the 9 and the 8 of Swords here. The one bright side, at least, with the Page of Pentacles showing up is that like there is a way that you can move through that panic or move through that mental trap if you feel trapped in a mental state. But I mean, you said you were in a pretty good spot right now. A lot of this possession stuff is looking into the past and future. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, the 8 and 9 of Swords, it's very much that deep in the mental trap kind of cards. 9 of Swords is about inner turmoil and vulnerability, often to one's own struggles or demons or inner demons. And there's a tendency to get stuck into guilt. And 8 of Swords is like that indication of feeling stuck, but not actually being stuck. The way out is as easy as the way in. You just need to drop the blinders, drop the rope, and move. So, I think Hathor is reminding you that you're not, like, if you've been feeling stuck with certain actions or ideas or ways of being, and I'm hoping that my energy is not contaminating it too much, If so, forgive me. But there's this sense of like, don't, or maybe this is for me for all I know, but like part of it's for me as well. But it's like, don't get stuck in ideas that you know deep down are unhelpful. And the good thing is that there is a way you can move. There is a way you can get out of them. And the important thing is not to waste your mind on those things, because those things in the grand scheme of things are very trivial. So it's okay to let them go. Okay, it resonates. Okay, I'm glad. Okay, just wanted to be sure, because I mean, I've been having similar feelings, so to speak, of like getting too stuck in this certain mentality. So I'm kind of I was kind of wondering, like, am I contaminating the reading? If so, I'm sorry. Thankfully, I'm not. So tiny bit general. Yeah, I think it kind of hit tiny bit general. That's okay. It's okay. As long as you resonate with something, that's the more important part. So the other cards that came up were the Three of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Sorry, the Three of Pentacles. Hello, G-Rock. Okay, so the other two cards that came up were the Queen of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. Queen of Wands, it's about dedication. So we're getting back to the Wands energy again. And there's very much a sense of, like, it's okay to be, like, where you feel upbeat is where your power lies. And you can tap into that confidence from that upbeat nature. So whatever good things that you experience today, tap into that energy, because that energy is going to help you handle whatever situation you come across, and be able to get to the other side of this 8 and 9 sword energy. Hello, little Princess Cherry. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. I'm almost done with one reading with one of our Q peeps, and then we will continue. I will re-explain everything that I just said for everything, how it works. So finally, yeah, of course. Feel free to use channel points to tell me like which kind of reading you want, or you just want general. You won't give hydration from me. Okay, so the final one. So the final thing that I got for you, which is for Three of Pentacles. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit of mental block right now, so I'm using a little bit of the book to kind of get me prompted. Teamwork makes the dream work. Whether it's with your spiritual team or with literal people, ideally a mix of both. To remember that you're not alone in this. Reach out to Hathor when you can. Also, remembering that, like, you don't, like, it's like, they say that, like, not everything can be achieved alone, but I disagree. There's some things you can achieve by yourself, but it's more fun with people. Or it's more fun to do it with a cheerleader by your side. And so it's more like, I think the more accurate thing is you don't have to do it alone. You can, but you don't have to. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's still the dedication that you still need to, like, bring to the table, but ultimately you don't have to do this alone. And especially if you're in the mercy of, like, certain thoughts that have been very unhelpful to you with the swords cards, you do not have to be stuck in that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's like I feel like it's a call for you to, like, don't look at your joy as a betrayal. If anything, it's the thing you need to lean into. And embrace your gifts, embrace your team, embrace your skills, because you have them. Like, that's what I've been getting on Hathor. So hopefully that answers your question. Everybody's redeeming hydrate. Yeah, of course. Okay. Who can still hear me now? And who is stuck in Ad Temple? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, good number of people probably are in Ad Temple right now. And Little Princess Cherry, thank you for the follow. So, for those who are on YouTube, thank you so much for being so understanding. Since we got maybe about like 2 minutes of a break, I'm gonna go ahead and just, I'm gonna just display my my coffee page for now, and then, oh, excuse me, we will come back with the stream. So stay tuned, everybody. I'm just gonna show my my campaign, and then we'll come back. Okay, we are back. Thank you so much for your patience. So, we have a bunch of new people, so welcome to the stream. So if you want a reading from me, all you need to do is type in exclamation point join in the chat, and then it'll add you to the queue. And then once it gets to your turn, or maybe prior to that, you can spend some channel points or just tell me what it is you want me to pull for you. I have tarot, I have oracle, I have runes, I have chakra checkup. You can also have me just use my instincts and pick out whatever you want me to pull from, and you're like, just whatever you want me to do, I can do it. I'm pretty much open to any question, but the only big parameter that I can really feel that I need to be clear is no third-party surveillance questions. So for example, is a person cheating on me? Is this person thinking about me in this way? I'm sorry, but I'm not your reader for that. I'm very much like, it's got to be about you. Most I could do if I'm reading it on, if like, unless like you get the other person's permission to read on their behalf, pretty much I'm very much about your situation. If it's about a relationship, I will probably analyze at most maybe what the vibes are of the situation, not so much like whether or not definitively this person is doing this thing, thinking in this direction, etc. That includes even not like romantic stuff. I just don't like I don't like assuming, because you know what assuming does. Makes an ass out of you and me. Um, so even though cards, yes, it gives you multiple dimensions. But even so, we got our limits, we got our respects. So if you're expecting that, I'm not your reader. But otherwise, I'm pretty much open to anything. Most important thing is to have fun. I respect your free will. If you find that there's something that doesn't vibe with you completely in terms of the reading, feel free to throw it out. Today just might not be my day, might not click, but feel free to come back for another thing, or even just come in for my video game stuff as well. So that's basically how it works. Okay, what is it with people asking me to hydrate? I've been hydrating pretty frequently. What is going on? What is going on? But anyway, so the next person in our queue for tonight is CMYD. So feel free. Oh yeah, there's the other part that I almost forgot. I keep mentioning. A lot of people seem to leave the stream prematurely, presuming I'm not going to read for them. I am going to read for you, regardless if you show up or not. So if you find that you have to leave early, you can at least put your question in the chat, or on my Discord server, or DM it, and I will answer it for you on stream. This video will not go away, okay? So if you have to dip, feel free to get in touch with me, and I will read. Or you can also put it in the chat, like I said earlier, and I will pull for you when it gets to your turn. And the other way is, like, if you happen to just forget, like, oh yeah, I forgot I was waiting for a reading, you can just come back by the next stream and you will not lose your spot in the queue. So that's how it works. Do I really have to say your username? You know who you are. CMYD69. You know who you are. So, yeah, unlike tarot readers who are like, oh, if you don't show up, then you're just off the queue. No, I at least give you, yes, you. But yeah, unlike some other, I mean, I'm not talking badly about other tarot readers here. I mean, everybody has their own style, and I'm gonna respect everybody. Everybody's different styles. But unlike most tarot readers, I like to give people chances to be able to still get readings and stuff. So, like, if you still want a reading from me, but you have to step off, that's understandable. At least tell me a question to pull for you before you leave, and I will do it. And the video will be up. If you don't see it here on Twitch, I always simulcast on YouTube as well. So if you don't see it here, by the time the time limit comes up on the Twitch video, it will always be on YouTube, which is the channel DJ MK Off the Air. So I go live on both channels simultaneously. I know there's some people who like download their live streams and then edit them and then put them on there, but it's just way too much work. I just prefer just live streaming everything and just putting it on there. Boom, done. It's right there. So that's the other channel in case you want to see it. So, okay, 3 months of what's coming. All right. Is there a particular medium you want me to pull from, or you just want me to just follow my instincts? I like asking that because I know there's some people who prefer more tarot. There are other people who just want me to just pull whatever I feel like pulling from. I think since it's already out, I think I'll go with I'll do tarot since it's right there already. So So next 3 months, what are things you got to keep in mind? So basically, this second going on third quarter of the year. So basically, this summer. I admit, it's just so funny that like a lot of the rain that we were supposed to get last month is only happening this month. And it's hella cold, too. I just want to make sure I got all the cards, because there were some that fell off. Oh, there's more. Okay, hold on. Oh, there's more. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. All right, so for CMYD, here's what I got for you in terms of the next 3 months. Oh, excuse me. So, first off, we got Temperance. Gonna go maybe like 3 and then 2. Let's see what the overall message is. Then we got Judgment. You see that in your own readings as well? Interesting. Got 8 of Pentacles. And then we got the Magician. I'm feeling reverse energy from this one, which is interesting. I don't really do like physical reversals, but sometimes if it pops up reversed, I'll pay attention. Because it did kind of show up flipped, but I don't know if it's like part of it's like my clumsiness and part of it was, well, that's how it wanted me to pick it up. And then Queen of Cups. Okay, so that's all of them. So we got 3 majors, 1 cup, and 1 pentacles. 1 pentacle. So overall, what I'm seeing for the next 3 months, I'm feeling also maybe 4. Of course, I'm not the greatest at predictive readings, so again, please take this with a grain of salt, especially with the knowledge that you personally have about your own situation. I am feeling that the next 3 months will be overall a mastery period. Mastery of forces is what I'm seeing. Because with Temperance and Judgment, Temperance, that is about putting what would typically be very opposing forces. It's a little different from the Lovers, where it's like you're harmonizing because like you're almost akin to each other. Temperance is about like taking things that would be considered opposite or oppositional, things that you think would not work together at all whatsoever, and harnessing them together and wielding them towards something purposeful and useful. So there's it's very much a call of mastery over forces, and that also is shown with the 8 of Pentacles, because 8 of Pentacles is usually seen in terms of, or at least like with some of the decks that I've used in the past, because obviously it's not everybody's experience with the card, but most time with 8 of Pentacles, I often see it as a mastery of a skill, or a practical skill, or productivity of some sort, or even a trade, sometimes a hobby as well. Just some tangible skill that will take its time, that over time you will get better and better at. And Judgment is about, like, contrary to how how the vibe of the word is. Judgment is about resolution and giving yourself or your situation a clean slate and making a decision that maybe at first may be very, very difficult, but over time you find that judgment was for the best and it's a brand new day afterwards. Because you finally made the call that maybe in that moment might have been too difficult to make that call, but it was very necessary to make that call in order to move forward. So, going further in terms of the Magician and the Queen of Cups, it's very much paying attention to how you harness the forces that are coming your way with the Judgment and the Temperance cards. It's calling for responsibility over these forces. So the Magician is about creativity and self-confidence, and I got reversed energy for some reason. I don't know why. You can check in with your own situation. But I'm feeling like as well, these calls for harnessing your forces is also a method of trying to recover seemingly lost self-confidence. Whether it's like a long, hard won, or in this case, easy lost struggles. And trying to get you to try and trust in your energy again, trust in your skills and your power again, and in your abilities, especially after a huge loss, be it financial, be it emotional, or be it a self or external perception that you may not feel was like sharp or on the ball as you used to be. I don't know why that's coming up, but it's a call for you to get back in touch with those gifts, because you have, in a way, you haven't lost touch with those abilities that you have or those skills that you have. It's more so you need a reminder that they're still there and you could still call on them whenever you need them. Hopefully I'm making sense, because sometimes I want to get to this interesting space in my brain. I can't 100% tell what skills they are, but with the Eight of Pentacles, I am seeing a practical skill from what I'm seeing, like maybe a hobby as well, or some sort of trade. Not like trade as in like hard trade like plumbing or welding or something. Unless it's up your speed, then that way, in that case, go for it. But some sort of craft or some sort of skill that like takes like dedication, like hard-won dedication to do, or seeking some knowledge that you need to learn to make it go further in your everyday life. But I'm feeling some sort of practical application, like this next 3 to 4 months. I'm feeling bigger, like it might be more like a 4-month thing rather than a 3-month thing, but some sort of skill that needs to be cultivated, or some sort of mindset, especially with the Magician having a reversed energy. It came out upside down when I pulled it. Especially something to affirm your self-confidence. That's the biggest thing that I'm seeing. And the other thing is emotional mastery with the Queen of Cups. Emotional mastery and harnessing your emotions and your intuition towards like whatever you're passionate about and whatever you're called to do. Because especially when you're following your instincts in tandem with your logic, sometimes by external appearances, it seems illogical. Even to you, it might seem nonsensical. But then as you look back on these next 3 to 4 months and especially where you started versus where you are now, you're going to realize there was actually a logical path as to why you went down the road you went down. Things eventually came together for this one moment for a reason. Now, I'm not calling it in terms of toxic positivity per se. Not per se, but like, it's not toxic positivity, but more so whatever you've been working towards or whatever you've been working in, it's not for naught. It's leading towards something that you can actually use towards your own work, the way you think about the world, whatever you put towards yourself, it's going to take you far. And remember that, especially with Temperance, the Magician, and Queen of Cups, that you have the skills and the strength that you can do. You have the skills and the strength and the intuition to change your lot in life. Whatever that is. It doesn't have to be even have to be like a dramatic change. It can just be small changes like, well, hydrating every 5 seconds. And also for for Little Princess Cherry, you can redeem during the read. It's totally fine. You can add yourself on the queue during the read as well, like, or during another person's reading or something. Big thing is as long as you're on it. So, CMYD, I hope that answers your question. I know this was I know. Momo, I think your name got replaced with Teehee. Dalian. Okay, so Little Princess Cherry, do yourself a favor, type in !join, because there's a couple people before you, and then I'll be able to get to your question. Okay? There you go. Okay, because there's a couple people before you, but I got your question. Thank you for adding that. So you're going to be read. Oh, good. Oh, good. Just wanted to make sure you were on. So there's some people who are new. So I have a queue. And if you want to join in, it's !join. And then you can use the channel points if you want me to use a certain medium or for me to like trust my instincts. Whatever you want me to do. The next person we got for tonight, it is G-Rock Blues. You are next, if you happen to still be here. But yeah, it's all good, Little Princess Cherry. I know you're new, so you didn't know. Okay, so you want runes for yours as well, so I'll keep that in mind. So G-Rock. All right. And then for those who are on YouTube, I have to... Okay, there you are. Okay, so what is your question? Feel free to add it into the chat, and you can use the channel points to get more specific in terms of what you want me to pull. If you want me to. Well, if you want me to get more specific. But yeah. And then for those who are tuning in on YouTube, because I do simulcast, it's been a hot minute since I've had YouTubers tune into my channel, but they've been coming up increasingly recently. So you could just ask your question in there, and then I will try my best to like answer your question ASAP, because I will admit Twitch is where the higher traffic tends to be. But yeah. All right, G-Rock. So whenever you're ready, I am ready. Oh, you're into runes, are you? What's your favorite? What's your favorite one to pull? You're wanting both runes and tarot. I mean, that's same with me. I mean, I do both runes and tarot. Ooh, roasted faba beans. I like Willow. Nice. I had a feeling you were a Willow person. I like Wunjo. Yeah, Wunjo is actually one part of my it's one part of my like my intuitive pseudonym, Win Starshiner. Because I mean, Wunjo also was known as Win in some etymologies. Nice. But yeah, I do this special thing where I mash together Wunjo and Gabo whenever I send a letter to somebody, because I want somebody to get the gift of my joy whenever they read my letters. Yeah, the more that's how it is. Like, I don't have all the runes memorized actually, but I have like a rough idea of which ones they are, and I have like guides as well pretty frequently about what they're supposed to be, and I have like books. Like, I have like a post-it note of like which rune goes to which 8. I think the one that gets probably late is Kenaz. Ah, okay. That one each symbolizes torch, fire, inspiration, creativity, and inner insight. I see. So we'll see. I'll see what I pull for you, because I mean, you're basically after G-Rock, so I'm excited to see what I pull for you tonight. So, G-Rock, do you need a bit more time in terms of deciding what you want to ask? Because it's okay. I'm in no rush. I just want to make sure people who want readings will be able to have time to get them, is all. Okay. Yeah, he hasn't whatchamacallit. He hasn't put his question yet. So that's one part that he didn't. He hasn't put his question yet. That's the other thing. Okay, so you just want a general? Is there anything in particular that you want me to pull from? It's under the channel points. I'm trying a new channel point system. Oh, you did? Okay, let me see. Hold on. Oh, it's tarot. Okay, sorry about that. It just scrolled. It was back a ways back. Okay, sorry about that. Clearly, I was not looking. Thank you. Okay, ad starting in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna snooze this one. Give it a time to shuffle. And then after that, it's Little Princess Cherry's rune reading. Yeah, the runes have been getting pretty popular over the past week and a half, like about the past week or two. Like I'm getting a lot more of those, which I really appreciate because I mean it's giving the runes some work. And it gives me the excuse to study them more, because I admit, get water, Kel. What are you doing? Maybe that's why all the hydrate stuff's popping up, because like you're dehydrated. Okay. Okay, good. Hydrate, don't dehydrate. Yes, I got tomatoes. Okay. Okay, what's what we got here? Alright, G-Rock, here's your general. So we got... Pull a card, it's the Fool. Okay, I know y'all are probably like, why do you keep being so sing-songy whenever I do, whenever I pull the Fool? It's because there's literally a song, there's literally a song called The Fool by Queen Herbie. I will add it to the chat. Featuring Thought Squad. And if the name Thought Squad sounds familiar, it's because she played Prism in Dispatch. God. Oh, don't make us flood. No, not. And then we got the Five of Wands for you, G-Rock. That's what the other two are. The Magician again. And the Six of Wands. Okay, let's see what's coming up with this. Let me scooch. Okay, so we can actually hear my voice. All right. So, the Fool and the Magician. There's a new frontier coming for you. And it's important you look at it in two ways. Simultaneously. That on one hand, there is the immense amount of potential that is ahead of you. Of the wonderful adventures, the new beginnings, the beautiful things that you are seeking. And on the other, the gaze of ability and mastery. It's two things you're holding at once. There's the beginner's mind, but then also the space of mastery and harnessing of your abilities and forces. That whatever you set your mind and your skills towards, you will achieve it. You just have to prepare for the possibility that it may not be exactly what you envision. Now, to clarify, it does not mean that it's not coming true. Of course it is. It's usually just the how you get there may not be what you think it is. Because hold on. How you think you get how you think you'll get it may surprise you. I mean, case in point. Here's the funniest thing. Okay. A little bit of a personal story here, but it's the best way I can really explain. It's the best way that I can really explain what I'm going to talk about here. This computer I'm doing the stream on was gifted by a longtime viewer and friend. And in some ways, it's what I expected, but not what I expected. So, let's see if I can explain this correctly without... Okay, so... I thought of getting a new PC for a long time. Like, I've been looking at it for the past 5 years of getting a new PC. And the funds just weren't there. And I thought, okay, at some point, I'm definitely going to be getting this new PC. So this PC is coming in my life whether I like it or not. However I see it. And it's probably going to either be... Either somebody gives me the precise amount I need to get this PC, or by some sheer random act of generosity, somebody's going to gift it. Somebody's going to gift it, no questions asked. So at that point, it was like, I did not push too hard on the how. I just knew in some way, shape, or form, it was going to be here. Fast forward to March. My friend Runcie, she's not in the room right now. She might be up here later for all I know. But basically, my friend Runcie, we've been friends since college. We've been friends for 15 years. She comes over to my room with this giant black bag, and I'm like, what are you carrying? This looks heavy. And then plunks it on the bed, calls my mod, and it's like, okay, we want to be together. I wanted us to be together when you open this. And I open this up, and this laptop that I'm using right now has all of the specs that I had basically imagined and requested for. Certain chips, the capacity is 2 terabytes, the gigs of RAM, 32, I think. Everything that I specified was right here. The how was up in the air, but it was all here. And the thing that's even more beautiful is that I open up the laptop and it says, "We love you, you got this." So huge shout out to that, because that really meant a lot to me. So thank you. So long story short, for G-Rock, you sometimes have to be open to like the most unconventional ways that something could come true, and to remember that you have the power, directly or indirectly, to make it happen. It could be very unconventional, but it can happen. Come in. Speaking of.
And now for a word from the secretary. So, I have been informed the house is hoping to order some food tonight. But
ooh.
Turns out one of the heads of the house may need some help ordering the food.
Okay. So I got a couple of cards that I need to finish up, and then thankfully we're about to get to an ad break, so we should be able to order some food.
Okay, so should I say about 10 to 15 minutes?
I say we give it about... Yeah, give me about maybe like more like 5.
All right, Runcie, the secretary is out.
Runcie, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends. All right, so the last couple of cards for you, G-Rock. We got the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. So I feel like these are 2 illustrations as to how to get to this energy here. Now, the 5 of Wands was in between the Fool and the Magician when I initially pulled it. And then the 6 of Wands is pretty much the end result once you're able to transition between the Fool and the Magician. So, the 5 of Wands. Where Where are you? 5 of Wands? Shoot. Brain. Okay, so 5 of Wands. Sometimes to get what you want, it's no easy road. Because there could be so many obstacles tossed in your path. And I'm not even talking about just the literal stuff like financial obstacles, marginalizations, societal stuff. Sometimes it could also be mental obstacles of like trying to get over old thoughts of maybe this field isn't meant for me, or I've seen this thing not work out. What makes this thing any different? It's more often the mental stuff we have to get out of the way. But sometimes the practical stuff too we have to take care of, like the monetary stuff, taking care of our friends, taking care of our families, taking care of our apartments or houses or the Wi-Fi, etc. There's so many things that we have to like, so many balls that we have to juggle. Pause. So many plates, circus plates that we have to spin around. Just so many things to get overwhelming. But the biggest thing is not so much what's coming at us, but how we answer to what's coming at us. Sometimes, I mean, to quote from Rafiki, you can either run from it or learn from it. So sometimes you may need to dodge. Sometimes you might need to like grab things a certain way. Another metaphor I can pull from here from experience. There's this, I actually just recently got back into martial arts again after 17 years. And I was so nervous at first because my body's so different compared to when I first did it. Like I've been doing this martial arts since I was about 4 years old. And I had to leave around when I was like 17 because college applications, man, they took a toll. College and stuff, just college and just a bunch of other factors just took a toll on being able to continue. But I was like this close to actually becoming a black belt before I even left. But I think it's just a lot of pressure. I come back per a friend's invitation after 17 years of being off the mat. And even though I'm like 50 pounds heavier than when I left, 50, 60 pounds heavier than when I left, it was like I never even left. A few dust stuff was like cobwebs, and then next moment, it's like my body just knew what to do. And there was this one throw that I had recently learned that it just, no matter what I tried to do, it was just not clicking, like how to get the arm around. It took me like maybe like 5 or 6 iterations for me to finally click it. It was grabbing, like somebody grabbed my arm, and then I had to do this kind of punching movement, wrap around. It was like this. It was like wrapping the pinky around like this. Grab, and then throw. Sometimes it might take you a few iterations to get down what it is that you need to get down, but you will get it down eventually. And trust. Most importantly, that success and victory will be on the other side. And more importantly, look at that victory with some realism, okay? With a bit of neutrality. Don't get like, yes, please celebrate your victories. Please celebrate your wins. That is very important. So that way it reinforces you, okay, I can do this. Let's do it again. Please reinforce that. And also, make sure you do not fall prey to hubris. Do not fall prey to your pride. Do not taint your victory via arrogance, via unnecessary anger. And most importantly, don't lose the importance of why that victory exists. Why that win came for you. Remember the steps that helped you get to that point. Be grateful for those steps. And know what things to carry forward in the future. I know I'm using a lot of sports metaphors, so forgive me. But that's the part that really showed up for me with your reading, G-Rock. I hope this helps. But yeah, it's like it's feeling like a new horizon is coming for you, and I'm hoping that whatever new thing is emerging, that it'll do well. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I hope things go well for you. So that's my that's my reading for you. So with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and run. I mean, ironically, it's kind of interesting that I'm actually deliberately running an ad this time, but I'm gonna need to because the family is gonna be crying for food next moment if I don't move out of this chair. So I'll be right back. We're gonna have a little bit of a break, and then we're gonna do Little Princess Cherry's reading, and then Fern's reading. So Fern, feel free anytime. So Fern, feel free to put your question in the chat. And in the meantime, I gotta take care of this thing. So stay tuned, everybody. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We are in the process of ordering food, so I'm gonna have a really good dinner after this, so this is fun. Honestly, I don't know what they're thinking of doing, so like we're in the process. But I have a feeling we might go for more Malaysian food, that or Indian. But whatever it is, it's gonna be good. It was more so like she just needed like help with getting her new card on her Grubhub. But yeah, there's a Malaysian place not far from my place, so we often get that. But anyway, Little Princess Cherry, if you're still here, I'm about to do your runes. So, working with the Fae. Huh? It is very much like... Okay, you're still here, great. Yeah, as you can probably see, there's a bunch of us that have some experience with the Fae. It is very much about... I think it's like following prudent wisdom and pay attention to what it is you're working with. And more importantly... using massive discernment, because I think they talk about in particular the season of Beltana is where you're most often going to get mixed up with there's like this dark kind of Fae. I just forgot what it's called. Kel, I think you mentioned it last stream. I just forgot the name of it. Unseelie, thank you. Like, especially this season, you're more likely to mix it up with the Unseelie, so be very careful. So that's one thing I've heard. So I've got 5 runes for you. 2 of them came out reversed. We'll find out what those ones are in just a moment. But we got 5. So here's the first one I've got for you. The first one I've got is Manaz, which is in the 8 of Tier, and it's about the self, humanity, and support. I'm gonna go through the book here. Shout out to Cassandra Eason, because these really nice little bit of books. She's done most of them. So this one came up upright. Acceptance of the weaknesses and strengths of self and others, equality at work and relationships, learning new skills, striving for perfection, and all matters of structured learning. Or maybe some healing might be involved too, we'll see. Anyway, studying and dealings with officialdom. When it's blank side up, which it isn't. Being overcritical and expecting impossible standards of self and others, problems with ageism, sexism, religious and racial intolerance, fighting against cynical or corrupt authority. Manaz, the rune of man and woman, is the rune of our strengths and weaknesses, and finding a meaningful lifestyle. Odin and his brothers formed the first man and woman from an ash and an elm tree, and their descendants repopulated the new world after the destruction of the old. The Anglo-Saxon rune poem talks of the mortality of mankind and of man, in his gladness being loved by his kinsfolk and yet ultimately divided from them in death. Manaz represents our potential to reach spiritual enlightenment and says we should value our relationships but ultimately accept that we are our separate selves and can't totally live through others. When Manaz appears in a reading, maximize your strengths and abilities and do not deny your innate weaknesses. Do not blame others for them or expect them to compensate. Any inequality or unfairness will be overcome if you keep pushing, whether a glass ceiling at work or discrimination because we or loved ones are in some way different. A new skill you need to learn will become easier. It may also be the moment to claim credit for your knowledge and hard work. If the blank side is facing up, which it isn't, but I like to read both in terms of the runes, accept that you are not Superman or Wonder Woman, and that you may need to hand responsibilities over if you are doing more than your share or ask for advice or help. You may find that someone you love or look up to has flaws and lets you down, but this may not be a reason to abandon the relationship or situation. Instead, see what can be mended and how trust can be restored. And I also have a Kel and his thing with Thor. It just made me think of a story that I have with Thor. I think I probably talked about it several streams back, but I'll bring it up later, probably after the stream's over. But let's see. But yeah, Manaz. The other thing that I'm feeling is if you're gonna do stuff with the Fae, have your intentions be very clear and have it be a respectful relationship. Not so much, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, don't make it a transactional relationship in terms of like, you're just doing a relationship with the Fae just to get something out of them. That's the thing they absolutely hate. But more so, you do respect to each other. It's like you leave out your offerings to the Fae, and then they will do rightly by you. Don't skip your obligations. Take responsibility, but make sure whatever responsibilities you take are not things that you suddenly have an off day and then you can't keep up with it. I see. But yeah, like, if you are going to work with the Fae, make sure you do things that you can keep up with. And I do hear, like, depending on some breeds of Fae that you're not supposed to show your gratitude towards them. But it's like most of the Celtic Fae I tend to hear that from, not so much the African Fae. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you might have had I think if you've been asking about this, I think there was a genuine connection there. But let's see what the other ones are. So this one came up reversed. This is Thruizaz. I don't know which way is it. I think it's this way. And this is about foreshadowing danger and suffering in one part. It's from the Age of Freya, but this came reversed. I've seen a gnome a long time ago, a red cap. Thruizaz also, I tend to see it as protection. So let me see what we got here for this one. Thruizaz, the Hammer of Thor, the Thunder God, Thorn. So upright, it can mean passion, protection, overcoming challenges. Oh, wow. Passion, protection, overcoming challenges, and hostility or bullying. Potency, successfully challenging an outmoded or corrupt status quo. When it's reversed, which is blank side up, which it did come up for you, it can mean secrecy and unresolved conflicts, overprotectiveness, fear of showing your true self and taking a chance. This is the rune of the thorn, and it's associated both with the thorn as a protective tree and with Thor, the god of thunder. In the Norse and Icelandic rune poems, Thruizaz is associated with the Thors, the frost giants who Thor protected Asgard, realm of the gods, from with his magical hammer. Thor's hammer also acted as a sacred symbol at marriages, births, and funerals. The Anglo-Saxon rune poem relates how the thorn is sharp to grasp, but also offers protection to the vulnerable flower or fruit on a tree or bush. Like Thor's hammer, it can keep away those that would do us harm. When Thruizaz appears in a reading, Thruizaz says that we should deal with each irritation and injustice as it comes, calmly and firmly. This is better than allowing bullies to remain unchallenged, letting resentment fester until we respond in a totally inappropriate way or turn our unexpressed anger in on ourselves. Beware also of hidden spite and barbs toward you, which can be expressed in the blank side of the room, but also if the blank side appears. Do not be afraid to show your true self and risk rejection, especially if you've been hurt in love. So too should we avoid being overprotective of loved ones because we fear unnecessarily for their physical safety or emotional well-being. And I think to add to that, I think part of the wall that you're experiencing, especially with some of the things that you've written, is maybe there's like a little bit of the adult skeptic kind of kicking in that's making it harder to believe that, like, did this really happen, or am I just making it up? some will believe in a way it's tapping into our imagination. And as problematic as she has been, there has been some truths to it. Is I keep thinking of the scene from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince where Harry sees a vision of Dumbledore, and even though, well, odds are pretty good, it might have been a post-spell vision, doesn't make it any less real that happened. I don't think so. And that's how it is for a lot of people, actually. And yeah, there were some things that I was able to tap into so much better when I was younger, and I'm starting to get that back little by little. Like recently I discovered that I could see auras, but I didn't even know that was what I was seeing from people sometimes until I went to a class about it. And then it was with the author Matt Oren, the guy who wrote Psychic Witch, like those books. And he basically taught us how to look at auras for like a brief moment, even though it was, like, the main focus was tarot that day. And he taught us how to like look in a certain way. He described it. This is a really easy metaphor that he used too. I'm really impressed that he came up with this. He talked about how when you try to look at an aura, it's like looking out a window. Sometimes you focus on one thing out the window, but in the case of seeing auras, you're trying to see the whole picture of the window. And maybe if you focus on one thing, you focus a little bit past that item that you're looking at the window and look at like the scenery in the back behind the window. And that's how you look at auras. So he said, okay, I'm going to expand my aura now. And then I actually saw the color expand out of him right after he said that. And I was like, what the heck? That's what I was seeing the whole time? So kind of a similar thing that maybe you might need, especially like once you've actually expressed that, figured out that open mind, that can make it easier for you to tap into those things again. Because I don't think the capacity ever really leaves you once you become an adolescent, but there's a few more protective hoops that you have to go through to make it easier to tap into. Sometimes it can be overprotection, be it from how people talk about this stuff or how you've experienced it in the past, maybe bullying or heavy skepticism. Or another one of my professors talked about this, where sometimes it could also be the cosmic law of the places you're in. Okay, bullying, yeah, that's one factor here. So that's totally explains what Thurzaz came up blank. But the other thing is, like, it could be like the cosmic law of the place that you're in, because there's some phenomena that is just a lot harder to achieve in certain areas. Like Toni Morrison, the famous author, my professor happens to be friends with her, or happened to be friends with her. She's since passed, rest in peace, rest in power. She talks about like these ghosts that always came by to tell them her story, tell her their stories, and she would write them. That's how she got most of the big things like Beloved and Song of Solomon and various other stories that she's written. And whenever she went to more academic spaces or business spaces, because she used to work for Penguin Random House, but back then it was just called Penguin, they wouldn't show up. And the spaces that she would work in, oftentimes, if you mention even some of these spiritual experiences, they'll kind of look at you as like, you're in an insane asylum. If you haven't been there, you should probably go in there. But she would come. So in those spaces, spiritual stuff like that is not part of their cosmic law. So of course they wouldn't come through when they're in those spaces like that. It's kind of like a boundary. Or if you're in more pagan or Wiccan circles, there's like a circle. There's a boundary that ensures that stuff like that doesn't cross through. But then she comes home, and it's like these ghosts have never left. Full-on conversations. So the other thing, so bullying, and then also the type, like also the stuck circumstances of not being able to move on without a job. Stress is a big one of how you can lose touch with that sometimes. But I can tell you, Little Princess Cherry, it's not gone. It's not gone. It's just you need to reestablish a sense of safety, both for yourself and for whoever you want to work with to come in. And most importantly, you need to outline how you want to work with them. Okay? That's the big thing. How you want to work with them. So the biggest thing is have clear parameters. Have super clear parameters if you're going to work with beings, regardless if they're fae or something else. So, thankfully, these next two... Here to say, if you read about the fairy door, never put them in your house or garden. Yeah, no. I've made fairy houses, but not fairy doors. Ooh, dragon energy is amazing. One person I recommend looking into if you want to try more dragon work, Mia Magic. I'll spell her name. She's like, she calls herself the Dragon Queen. She has a program called Slay Your Dragon, as in sleigh bells ring, are you listening? Not slay as in like knight slaying a dragon. She does a lot of dragon work, and I've done some dragon work with her. She's pretty powerful. Oh, wow. That's really cool. Do you happen to remember what color the dragon was? I see. Another person that might be worth looking into, unfortunately, I don't know how to type accents, but she does dragon stuff too. Alunia Noel. Oh, green. Okay, that's cool. Check out Alunia Noel's video about dragons because she goes through each of the colors and what they mean. But let me continue on with your rune reading, because I feel like these next two, I think, will help you figure out how to get the breakthrough with these two things that you want to explore as well. No problem. So, Dagaz is our next rune here. And Dagaz, it's a really good one to get. It's from the 8 of Tyr. For most people, they tend to put Dagaz as the final rune. I think this book will be the final rune. For others, they tend to put Othala as the final rune, but Dagaz is the final rune in this book, at least. And it means day, clarity, revelation, enlightenment, and hope. So, symbol side up, which it is for you, it can mean the light at the end of the tunnel, new beginnings, believing in yourself, even when others doubt you, a sudden opportunity to shine or succeed. When it's blank side up, it can mean living for the future and not making the most of the present, undue pessimism about life, hanging on to past sorrows. Dagaz, whose name means day, was the radiant son of Naut, the goddess of night. Excuse me. Each dawn, Dagaz rode his shimmering chariot, drawn by his white steed, Skeen Fakshi, whose name means shining mane, bringing in the dawn. The Anglo-Saxon rune poem, the only one to describe Dagaz, refers to the rune as the Lord's Messenger, reflecting an attempt by scribes to Christianize the rune poems. The light of Dagaz is seen as shining on rich and poor alike, offering them hope. Oh, Nat. Okay. It's spelled with O in here. That's interesting. Dagaz is a very exciting, positive rune, whether it refers to improving health for you or a loved one, a new career opportunity, especially after job loss, bankruptcy, or redundancy, or a sudden revival in love or good luck. Oh, okay. It's a Norwegian thing. Got it. Okay. Thank you. When Dagaz appears in a reading, Dagaz promises life will get better if you just keep going and have faith in yourself. Okay. That is scary. I was just mentioning that like a little bit earlier with 3 Zaz. Anyway. It looks favorably on learning new skills, retraining, study opportunities, or pursuing a new career, and promises a better situation considering a young person. It's a good sign for overcoming addictions, debt, fears and phobias, or depression, finding a new friend or love that will change your life, joy in pregnancy and through children, and amazing good fortune ahead. This did not show up for you, but I'm going to read it anyway. If a blank side appears, then it may suggest you are continually waiting for a better tomorrow or worrying too much about past failures, rejections, and future hazards instead of making the most of what is on offer now. If your trust has been shattered, reach out to those who are there for you rather than shutting yourself away. That last part especially is very important. Because I know, like, when you're in a really bad situation, and this was me earlier this year, so you're not alone, it's important that you don't isolate yourself. If anything, it's all the more reason why you need to reach out to your guides. You need to reach out to mentors, loved ones, the people, because they can help you pull yourself out, like pull you out of the situation, or give you reminders that you can get out of whatever bad situation you may be in. I mean, months earlier, studying abroad felt impossible, okay? Like, it felt like a pipe dream. I felt like for a little while, like, why did I set myself up for disappointment? But look at this now. I'm now 50% there. And yeah, this is something I've just not imagined would happen. Now, granted, I have a week left, but still. Well, 3 weeks if you include the trip, but hey. Ah, okay. Oh, you're trans. Male to female, she, her. Okay, got it. Thank you, Princess Cherry. But yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's very much about, like, remembering that you're not alone in this, and you will break through whatever obstacles there are. And it could be a hint towards a new job that fits you better, for what I'm feeling. That's one way you could look at it. But another thing is also a breakthrough in terms of how to look upon your connection with the divine, with dragons, with the fae. So know that this connection will not just pass you by. So that's one part of it. Another part that I'm seeing here, there's Rido, which is still in Freya, in the 8 of Freya, which came up, wrong one. Rido, there we go. And that is for work, growth, and present time. That's another really good one, actually. It's feeling like one of the things that you could work with the Fae on, what it's looking like, and maybe the dragons too, by extension, is how to find work that fits you. That's what I'm seeing with these two that I pulled here. So Rido, or riding the sun wheel and the wheel of the wheel on the wagon. So upright, it can mean successful journeys, travel, relocation, taking the initiative, seizing opportunity. When it's in shadow or the blank side, it can mean waiting for the ideal moment to act, which may never come, and inner restlessness leading to unwise change in the outer world for its own sake. Opportunities are at hand. That may mean leaving your comfort zone, basically a journey, but which ultimately offer future success and fulfillment. The old rune poems contrast the ease of the ancient warriors in their halls, talking about old victories and battles with the cold world outside where action is needed. We must do what we want now, rather than phrases like if only and one of these days. Whether the move is an inner shift, a major job change, relocation, or visiting where you have always wanted to go. Reach out for what you want most now. Hold on. It's too low for me to use the straw. Okay. There we go. When Rhino appears in the reading, we can't sit around waiting for the sun to shine and happiness or fortune to fall into our hands, but must seize an opportunity that may involve effort and uncertainty. We can chart our own course and decide our destiny. Travel and career opportunities, relocation, and house moves will bring advantage, but there is the need to maybe take the harder but more rewarding path. If things are bad, this is a promise of better times coming. See? Others may not approve of changes we need to make, so leave negative people and situations behind. Blank side, which didn't pop up for you, but I'm still going to read it. So it said that we may, with the best of intentions, be living the dreams of others. Many a parent has forced a child onto an unsuitable path as a way of fulfilling his or her own unsatisfied desires. But if you're discontented, be sure that change is outer circumstances and not a problem within you that you will take with you. So yeah, case in point. Yeah, exactly. It's basically, if you've seen the movie Onward, you will never be ready. Merge. Just go for it. Just go for it. Just give it a try. You might make a few mistakes here and there, but just give it a try. Yeah, that like Rhino is basically the "you will never be ready, merge" rune. Onward's a good movie. Like, if anybody's never watched it, go watch it. It's really good. I feel like that movie's so underrated. But yeah, especially if you're into D&D and stuff, that movie's really good. But yeah, long story short, yeah, it's like saying that there's good stuff coming around the corner for you, whether it's your career, or in this case, with when you asked about like the connection with the Fae. I think this is feeling more like those readings where it's asking about one thing, but it's answering something else. But long story short, regardless of which one it is, whether it's career or with the divine, the biggest message I'm getting here is give it a go. And especially for women and AFABs. Well, you're a trans woman, so you totally get that. There's a sense of like we have to like show our qualifications, like a sense of like we have to like prove our qualifications a lot more, whereas like men and AMABs tend to more likely just throw something at the wall and see what sticks most of the time. And if it's like jobs are like more amenable towards that. But the trick is actually you have to show that same openness. Actually, the one trick that I learned, and I finally got an interview that's happening next Thursday, so fingers crossed on my interview coming up. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. You gotta show that same gusto. Just give it a try. Most people are more amenable to not like novices than you think it is. The biggest thing that they are looking for is the earnestness to try. Even if you're not an expert, the earnest thing that you like, as long as you have the earnestness to try, that could be the one thing that puts your foot through the door. Other thing is about like, well, the who you know. I think it was the other thing, because I mean, I knew somebody who worked for this place. It's a reading tutoring internship, reading assist, that I signed up for, that I applied for, and they responded within like a week. So that really surprised me. But it also helped that I knew somebody who actually did it. So, yeah. Oh my God, my heart goes out to the young people who are graduating, especially those who just graduated. Like, my alma mater just had their graduation ceremony this week, so congratulations to them. Much love to you. Y'all, I'm having a hard time even with my master's degree. It's ridiculous. You'd think I would have an easier time. I mean, especially if you've seen the description down below, at least in my my Twitch channel, of what I've done. And yet I'm having such a hard time finding work too. It's not just you. It's literally not just you. You're not alone in this. So please do not beat yourself up. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. Ugh, yeah, especially that. So, much love to you, Cherry. Much love to you. Oh, girl. It's hard out here for trans people. I'm not trans, but I have a lot of friends and people who I consider family who are trans, and it hurts. It hurts what I'm seeing. Like recently, oh God! Down south too? Oh my God. Girl, my heart is out to you. My heart goes out to you. That is not easy. It's one thing to be marginalized just in general, but to be marginalized in the South? Ugh. My heart goes out to you. We got one more rune. So hopefully, I think this should give you a bit more reassurance. I mean, granted, this one's blank side up. Okay, so we got T-Waz. Oh, ads. Shoot. Ad temple. Ad temple, y'all. Bruh. But yeah. Yeah. Heart goes out to my trans siblings at this point. Especially now. It's just heartbreaking with what's happening with the trans community right now, especially in the United States. Thankfully, there are a lot of resources out there. Lush, the bath bomb company, recently released some resources for ways that we as allies can support marginalized groups, as well as ways that you can provide more support to other people. So check that out. There's like pamphlets and everything. And the Trevor Project is another one I highly recommend. So go check those out. And thankfully, there are a lot of therapy services that also are trans and queer affirming. One is the Loveland Foundation, which will give which gives free and affordable mental health care. Another one is Soul Health, which is an online healthcare service. It's like $30 per appointment. I use it myself. It's a really good service. And the last one that I use, even though there is a name, Sad Girls Club, it is queer and trans affirming as well. So go check these resources out if you want to get some more information. One of them was actually the charity of Yuletide. So if you want to find out more of those resources, go check them out. For those who are on YouTube, I will update the YouTube description to show those resources. But yeah, my heart goes out to the trans community right now, for trans people, because y'all deserve better, for sure. There's a lot more that I want to talk about, but we will keep that for future streams. But yeah, thanks for listening to my TED Talk as a cis able-bodied woman who has a very sensitive heart. And now back to regular scheduled programming. Okay. All right. Feel free, for those who watched on Twitch, feel free to like rewind back to the part that I was talking in for like 2.5 minutes. Dobby is free! You're out of the ad temple. Okay, so the final rune here is T-Waz. This one came up blank side up. And that is the first rune in the 8 of Tyr. And that is about the god Tyr, self-sacrifice, justice, and victory. Yes, T-Waz, aka Tyr, is a god who sacrificed his who sacrificed his sword arm to protect the other deities and and Odin from Fenrir, the cosmic wolf. So, Tyr came out blank side up. So, Tiwaz, the pole star, a guiding star. So, simple side up, it means justice, altruism, following a worthwhile path regardless of difficulties, truth revealed, making realistic dreams come true, excuse me, long distance and long-term travel. When it's blank side up, it can mean unrealistic dreams and illusions, unnecessary self-sacrifice, especially for loved ones, losing faith in life and self, depression. I'm feeling unnecessary self-sacrifice and losing faith. Those are the two things I feel like that stand out with this reading. But let's keep going. Tyr is the Norse god who presided over all matters of justice. In the Norse and Icelandic rune poems, Tyr is called the one-handed god, referring to the sacrifice he made of his most precious gift, his sword hand to bind Fenrir. The rune poems talk of keeping faith over the night's dark. Tyr fought well with a silver arm and was not afraid to fight for what was of value and right. The rune says that we can win through perseverance and never losing faith in our principles. The rune also signifies the fulfillment of the hidden talent or creative gift that becomes a second or new career. Interesting. When Tiwaz appears in a reading, this is favorable for all public performances, competitions, and performing arts. It also augurs well for travel, especially independently, or a new lifestyle involving travel. It is good for matters of justice against oppression, great or corrupt, for recovery from illness, and also for taking a salary cut or downsize to fulfill a long-term dream. If you have temporarily had to put life on hold because a loved one needs you, you'll be more than repaid for this short-term sacrifice. The blank side of the rune may appear if you're making unnecessary sacrifices for those who can look after themselves, or if you are not prepared to compromise and accept what is possible right now, even if not ideal. If you are suffering from others' lies, the truth will come out. That last part, wowee! And the blank side did show up for you for this rune, so, and I'm glad it all lines up too. But yeah, I mean, clearly there's a lot about travel. There's also a lot about, I'm feeling this very much like, there's much sense of like, you're ready to go. There's just these really big, there's these mental and emotional obstacles that have been coming up. Like, whether it's past bullying, like you said, or in this case of Tiwaz being face down, it's like stuff's being obscured, but the truth will set you free pretty soon. So yeah, Cherry, don't give up, because I feel like there's some idea that's gonna help you get going, as you can see from Dagaz. So don't give up. Remember your humanity. And there is a way through. And you knew for the car, speedometer doesn't work, etc. Yeah. Pay attention, because I feel like the truth is coming. The truth is coming. You'll get through it, I promise. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad that you managed to tune in today and get these runes. But yeah, I'm like, my heart especially goes out to you, because like that's not an easy situation. Of course. I'm glad you tuned in. And I'm glad you enjoyed the vibe too. And in case if anybody's curious about like the playlist today, it's not chill hop this time. It's chill wave this time. So it's a lot more gaming meets jungle, for like a better explanation of this thing. Oh, I love that. But yeah, here's the playlist you want, in case you want to check it out. Shout out to Starburst for this amazing playlist. But But yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, you keep working with your guide. Ask your questions. Yeah, I hope you find some way to get to a safe space for sure. Gonna send you some good vibes after this, okay? Send you plenty of good vibes. Dang, that really hit me. Yes, that's very important. You're so welcome. So with that, Fern, you are the last person on our queue for tonight. So go ahead and tell me, what method would you like me to pull for you today? I saw your question a bit earlier. Momo! Okay. Okay, Momo. I guess you're the last one then. But okay, you want me to trust my instincts? You got it. Alright, so let me scroll back a little bit, just get precise wording. Whatever to help empower you to make the best decisions moving forward. So I'm feeling a mixture of runes and tarot this time, because the runes worked really well the last time I did them for you. So I think a combo of these two will work pretty well. And then Momo, feel free to type out your question, and what method you want me to pull for you, and then we will rate. How does that sound? I want to raid Root. It's been a while since I've raided Root. Root raided me last night during Age of Empires, which I really appreciated. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I feel like I've pulled this for you or some themes like this one so many times for you. So I'm hoping the runes could give you a little more clarity in terms of that part. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. That's quite a bit. Okay. So I've got 5 tarot cards here. Ooh, okay, I've got some interesting ones. And then it can catch the runes, but not my bell. Interesting. Okay, they all came out upright, and I actually know all 3 of these too. So, get to those just a moment. Let me just double check to make sure there's no ad. Okay, no ad. Perfect. Okay. So, first off, in terms of tarot, we got the 3 of Pentacles. We've been getting stuff along the lines of the theme of this, which is like teamwork makes the dream work, and working together to make things happen, whether it's practically or literally. And, you know, thinking about it now, you don't even have to limit yourself to the people that you see in real life either. You could use us online, because you're pretty well connected to us. So whatever ways that we can help you, even if it's not exactly the traditional means, I think it's still something that you could probably consider tapping into. Us and the internet. And they say they say in here there's some things that you can't achieve solo. Yes and no. There are some things that you can't achieve solo, like playing It Takes Two, for example. But there are some other things there's some things that are just they're more fun with other people, or I think what's more accurate is like you can do things solo, but you don't have to. Yes.
Run, see the secretary in again. Just double checking. Whoop! Just double checking and falling over my own hypermobile ankles, asking what is the latest status when it comes to food? Do we need to fill our bellies the way we need to fill our minds?
True. I'm almost done. I just have one more person after this one.
Okay. All right.
Oh, so Fern says hi.
Hello, Fern.
So yeah, long story short. Okay, yeah. Spiritual help is one way of doing it. Absolutely. So I think like already you're kind of finding ways to like work with people in terms of doing this. So finding more unconventional ways of like having a team. There's like your spiritual team or a literal team, etc. There's many ways you can go about that. So I think that was the issue with the previous readings that I had, was that, like, I think I was pushing so much on the practical end that there was a kind of forgetting, like, practical also includes this. Also includes writing an email to somebody or using Discord messages. There's way more than just the 3D. And I don't think I made that clear enough. I think now that I've pulled this, it makes more sense. So next we got the Queen of Swords. Understandable. I'm not very practical either in some ways. But the next one we got the Queen of Swords, which is about discernment. And especially like discernment while still keeping your feelings in check, or keeping your feelings in mind as you do things. And it's very much about honesty and inner knowledge as well. And trying to find more aligned and accurate information to make the best decisions. And sometimes it might be also, again, there might be a little extra help that you might need to ask in order to find out what that is. Like these butterflies. Yeah, they're being sent out, actually, if you look at the way her hand's extended. Like she's calling out, like, hey, can you confirm this? To like make sure I'm not just talking on my booty, so to speak. And it's okay to get extra data sometimes if you're not sure about how it's gonna go. So getting more information, but making sure it's not like to the point of like excessive affirming of like, okay, let me find this one more thing. There is such thing as overstudying. So sometimes, again, you may need to just put your foot down and get those facts. Get that information and then act based on the information you've got in that moment. And maybe find more data later, once you get your own data through your experience. So there's some of that. Vastly between overstudying and being overly zealous. Understandable. It's the classic academic dilemma of like, did I study enough? And it's like, you studied enough for this moment, you need something to work with, so just work with this. So there's kind of that going on. So that's some of the other ones we got here. So we got the Three of Cups as the next one. I feel like it's a continuation of the Three of Pentacles, where it's very much about like teamwork, it makes the dream work. In this case, it's more so especially like allowing yourself to celebrate what it is that you've accomplished, and remembering the bonds between friends and the bonds we have as human beings, and remembering that you have a community, even if it's not like the typical community of like going next door and saying hello and hanging out at your house for a few hours. It can also mean, well, us being here as a community, actually. I mean, there are so many people who have tuned in for so many months that I really appreciate you guys. Like, y'all have been so amazing to the newcomers and to each other. I feel so proud of us. I am so proud of us. I mean, we literally made the beads on a mala. Like, as of today, we just hit 108 followers on this Twitch channel. So we're not my area of expertise, but do what feels more natural. I mean, for most of us, that's all we really can do. And that really perfectly segues into the next card that we got here, which is the Knight of Wands. So, Knight of Wands. Knights. They are the stereotypical brave people of old. There's a little bit of leaping before looking, asking for forgiveness, not permission kind of deal with the knights. But it's also very much but even with that kind of risk, there's still that drive and that daring, and there's a progressive arc with these knights, because whatever they go for, maybe the aim will be the same, but whatever situation they dive into, they're going to come away transformed and changed, even if the aim happens to be the same. I think of Sir Gawain in the Green Knight. Goes into this adventure and comes away with a robe as a reminder of his quest. So, tapping into your daring, tapping into your whimsy, tapping into your passion can be a way to move through whatever indecisiveness may emerge. Bravery comes from my out-of-body experiences. I mean, those are pretty brave. Like, being out of body, it's a lot. It's good from somebody who sometimes goes out of body without choosing to. So I totally see it as an act of bravery. And the final card that I got for you here is the Chariot. So that's very much about triumph, victory, success, conquering obstacles, establishing confidence, maintaining discipline, taking the reins, having certainty. Furniture in your arm hurt a lot. Looked at it, has scratch marks, but with an X or with walls around it like Degas. Interesting. And I appreciate whoever did that to me. Yeah, you might need to like reestablish some wards, Cherry. And also maybe some calamine lotion or some cortisone cream. But yeah, the Chariot. Very much about triumph over obstacles. And very much through focused intent and taking the reins over what it is you want to do. And I often think of it as well in the sign of Cancer, because I mean, it is the right number for that, because right after it's strength. So like, Cancer comes before Leo, and especially since like you see the crab in the bottom. So remember the balance between tough exterior and tender interior. Taking care of both. Making sure the armor's polished, but also making sure inside's taken care of too, of those tender parts, making sure those are nurtured. So there's two of those. There's those things going for you, of making sure there's that well-rounded care and sensitivity. And then the 3 runes that I pulled for you, Fern, hopefully should give you some clarity as to how you could possibly do that. And thankfully these 3 are actually ones that I actually recognize, because it's like one of the first, like, these were some of the first few that I pulled for myself. And also I played them in the game. Tinapar's life might be restricted from the world at large, which is why the armor is there. And the part of it is letting the armor do its job and taking the knocks. And yeah, unlike the crab, you don't always have to be all armor all the time. It's a little different. But, I mean, actually, like the crab, eventually you outgrow the armor you have, and it's like too worn and you have to shed it for a little bit. And then it takes you some time to grow a new one that fits better. Oh. That's where personal evolution comes in. But yeah, these three I pulled for the runes here. It's very apt because these are like one of the first few that I pulled for my own rune readings. And then also I came across them in this game called Jotun Valhalla Edition. I did like a super old walkthrough of that game if you want to see how I played it. And I've been thinking of playing it again now that I know Norse mythology a lot better. So feel free to. So if you want me to do it again, feel free to put it in the recommendations section. I think it should work with this computer. But anyway, the first one I got for you is Algies, which is about. That is so funny I mentioned self-defense because it's literally about self-defense, protection, and safety. That is so funny that I mentioned that, and it's right there. And it's in the 8 of Heimdall. Get you open. Heimdall. Okay. Yeah, to get Isa as well, so there we go. Elhaz or Algies, the elk or eelgrass. Symbol side up, it means facing difficulties head on and resolving them. Altruism, rising high through achievement and battling to fulfill a dream. Good employment prospects, especially after a period of unemployment or threats to livelihood. When it's in the blank side up, which it didn't, but I like to read both sides anyway. Seeking an easy fix to problems or denying their existence. Taking the route of least resistance. Not seeing beyond the immediate situation. Elhaz is a multi-meaning rune. The Anglo-Saxon rune poem, the only one to mention this rune, interprets the rune as eelgrass, which is found in the marshes and which grimly wounds any man who tries to grasp it. This sharp grasp represents the nettle that is hard to grip, but once it has been seized, is traditionally used for thatching, kindling for the fire, and bedding for animals. The rune shape also represents the antlers of an elk, another translation which can be used for an attack or defense. It also indicates resources that are available to act powerfully and altruistically. Above all, it speaks of the higher spiritual self and the need to develop one's spiritual nature while at the same time living within the world. That's like the summary I keep getting with like the pulls that I've done for you, Fern. It's a summary of like developing your spirituality while still living in like we're here for we incarnated here, so we also have to live here, as difficult as it can be. But when Elhaz lives and appears in a reading, or Algies, seize opportunities or make a decision, even if difficult or painful, as this will clear the way for a very good future. This could appear as freedom from limitations or a new life path. Alternatively, it may appear when you're contemplating studying healing, spiritual, therapeutic arts, or downsizing to a more meaningful, simple lifestyle. I feel like reading the blank side part. When the blank side appears, you need to acknowledge that any pressing problems will not simply go away, so denying their existence is just storing up for future trouble. Life path 1, whatever that means. Oh, numerology. I admit, I'm kind of young in the numerology game, so I don't remember. I'm a life path 11. It's like, I think my life path is a 9, and my destiny path is an 11. There might be at least one numerology buff in here. Actually, there's somebody I could totally get in touch with about this, so. Are your destinies 11 too? Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. I actually know somebody who does numerology. I'm gonna have to get in touch with her, and then I can get back to you. Okay, so you also got Throry Zaz for your second one, but unlike Little Princess Cherry, yours came out upright. So I feel like it's a continuation of like the Chariot here. So Throry Zaz, it's in the 8 of Freya, and that is about the Hammer of Thor, or the Thunder God, or the Thorn. When it's symbol side up, it can mean passion, protection, overcoming challenges and hostility, or bullying, potency, successfully challenging an outmoded or corrupt status quo. Blank side out, which it isn't, means secrecy and unresolved conflicts, overprotectiveness, fear of showing your true self and taking a chance. And funny you mentioned that, Kel, because like I met this guy in a convention I went to in February, and it's not the guy who tuned in, but like somebody else. He channeled Thor. Interestingly enough, it was like this really interesting like tradition called like the temple. Like it's like the Temple of Global Spirits, I think that's what it's called. And this guy channeled like the party side of Thor, and he was like, yeah, MCU is like Chris Hemsworth's result was okay. I think the guy that was the most accurate actually was Idris Elba playing Heimdall. Which is kind of funny considering I liked like my favorite character in the MCU was Heimdall, so it worked out. And I often feel like they passed on Tyr's story to Sif especially in Love and Thunder. It just gives that vibe. Like it feels like Sif kind of took on Tyr's story when Sif should have been Sif. But then again, Thor was in love with Jane Foster in the film, so there's that. But anyway, continuing on. Blank side, it can mean secrecy and unresolved conflicts, overprotectiveness, fear of showing your true self and taking a chance. But the symbol side was upright, so that's not relevant here. This is the rune of Thorn, and it's associated both with the thorn as a protective tree and with Thor, the god of thunder. In the Norse and Icelandic rune poems, Thurisaz is associated with the Thurs, the frost giants who Thor protected Asgard, realm of the gods, from with his magical hammer. Thor's hammer also acted as a sacred symbol at marriages, births, and funerals. The Anglo-Saxon rune poem relates to how the thorn is sharp to grasp, but it offers protection to the vulnerable flower or fruit on a tree or bush. Like Thor's hammer, it can keep away those that would do us harm. When Thurisaz appears in a reading, Thurisaz says we should deal with each irritation and injustice as it comes, calmly and firmly. This is better than allowing bullies to remain unchallenged or letting resentment fester until we respond in a totally inappropriate way or turn our unexpressed anger in ourselves. Beware also of hidden spite and barbs toward you, which can be expressed in the blank side of the rune, which is not blank for you, so you're fine. But also the blank side appears, do not be afraid to show your true self and risk rejection, especially if you've been hurt in love. So too should we avoid being overprotective of loved ones because we fear unnecessarily for their physical safety or emotional well-being. So, in other words, it's more so like, I think it's like what it's called, the thing that suggests, like, as you are navigating these new things, is to pay attention to how irritations and obstacles come at you. And more importantly, pay attention to how you respond. Because the aim here is not to just react, but more so respond appropriately. Oh, God. Yeah, that's not helpful. That's not helpful at all here. Self-rejection is hurting you more than it helps. So, you gotta be honest with where you're at. Face it. And I think that's why the Queen of Swords came up as well. Because brushing it off as just a flesh wound or just a scratch, when it's clearly a profuse stab wound, it's not helpful now, is it? No. If it hurts, it hurts, regardless of the scale. Be honest, it hurts. And get the appropriate healing. That's why. Algies. Yeah. and I think that's why it's calling you to pay attention to your responses and just stop tolerating when something gets brushed off. Because then you respond, you're also forgetting about master numbers. That's where 11 comes in. 11, 22, 33. But some people do boil down the 11 to 2. Ouch. Yeah, even if you don't feel it until later, it's like you still have to remember, like, that's boiling water. That's boiling water. You gotta take care of yourself. Yeah, mine's 11. And then if you have like a 10, it doesn't necessarily mean that like you have to boil it down to 1, though you can, but the 0 from one numerologist that I learned from, it's an amplifier. Like you still have to add it in to like make it 1, but like if it boils down to a 10, it's an amplifier. Yeah, again, I've played a lot of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. There's that. That's how it got me into numerology. But anyway, getting back to it, the final rune that I got for you, Fern, is Isa. And it's ice. That's pretty straightforward. But upright, it means the need to move slowly forward, reconciliation in love or family, wise caution, and slow progress in preparation. When it's blank side up, it means feeling totally stuck in a situation or relationship, being unfairly cast in the role of scapegoat for family or marital failings. Isa is the rune of ice, and like Haglas, it refers to the 5th element in the Norse tradition. The rune poems talk about the coldness and beauty of Isa. The Norse rune poem sees it as a bridge between dimensions that needs to be negotiated with care by those who are perhaps blinded by the fear of going forward. However, it must be crossed before the ice melts and the chance disappears. When Isa appears in a reading, whether we have frozen ourselves into Isa or Isa, also translated to is or to be. That's true. Whether we have frozen ourselves into inactivity or circumstance prevents us from moving forward, which, what's another word for ice? Numbing! Anyway, this is a good time to begin any negotiations, make reconciliation attempts difficult or stubborn people, and take the first steps toward future change. A good omen for beginning to pursue a new career. If the blank side is facing up, which it isn't, thankfully, examine what or who is holding you back. Perhaps the time for change is not right or you are uncertain of the right move. In this case, it may be better to wait and let the ice melt in its own time, but don't accept any unwarranted guilt for others' stubbornness or negativity. So that's the final thing that I can recommend for you, Fern, is it might be time to negotiate. Doesn't have to be literal, but certainly something that can make it a little easier to navigate whatever obstacles that may be lying in your path in this time. And if you keep relying on numbness to push you through, eventually numbness is just gonna be really unproductive. I often look upon it as negotiations with oneself in terms of like establishing new parameters. Like if you want to make a change, for example, maybe try to find the simplest one that you can actually execute in a pretty regular fashion and do it. Like recently, I've been trying to get more exercise, like whether it's rain or shine. That I want to try at least getting 3 days worth. And so far I've been doing pretty well at that. And I want to keep up with it. I think it's just affirmation then, like whatever you're doing, keep doing it. That's one part. Another thing is The important thing that I'm also seeing is paying attention to excuse me, what opportunities are out there, especially like a self-made or unconventional ones, because then it just keeps your mind open to possibilities, and then it gives you things that you can try once you've gathered enough information or enough of a courage or wherewithal to give it a shot. So that's what I see from negotiations. So how conventional can be might surprise you. Yeah, I mean, if you're still working, it's like, why start being normal now? Being normal is vastly overrated. But yeah, I know it took a while, but I hope that answered your question. So, with that, I hope that certainly helps you with getting the answers that you seek. You are so welcome, my lord. So, Momo, you are the last person of the night. So tell me, what is your question? I sounded like one of those aliens from Mass Effect, where they have to basically say what they're feeling first and then they speak, because it sounds flat, because they sound so monotone and flat. I forgot the species, but like y'all know what I'm talking about. There's like this one species in Mass Effect 2, I think, where like their speech is so monotone and they say what they're feeling at the beginning, like like happy, and then they say what they need to say. I know, because people who aren't weird tend to hate my guts. They aren't for you, and you aren't for them, period. Their loss. Their loss. Oh, okay. Kel wants me to self-promo. Or, wait, no, not you, self. Okay, Kel wants self-promo. Okay, add your self-promo. What do you want to promote? Anything you want to brag about to the class? Momo. Oh, photography Insta. Okay. Gonna pin that up top. Okay, what is this dish that is like right next to the puppy? That looks delicious. Looks like a zucchini like dish. But whatever that is, that looks delicious. Oh, zucchini frittata. Oh, yum. I could use some zucchini right now. Anyway, Little Favorite has entered the stage. Just wanted to know why the hell entities around my house are so active. Can't really properly delve into it myself at the moment, but it's been getting increasingly noticeable. Okay. Any particular medium you want me to pull? Okay. Tee-hee. Why tee-hee? Bardic inspiration of feeling this one. Definitely feeling this one.
A little bit messy, but I have prepped you the following for an omelet.
I think our food plans fell through. Whoops. I think the food plans fell through. It's okay. And everything was yell. Okay. Where's the music? Okay, let me see. There we go. Okay, sorry. Lost sound for a split second. Yeah, also add that in your mic check, Kel, as well, on my Discord server. Okay, let's see. What's going on? Why is there spiritual activity? Hello. Hello. Hi. Oh, so is that a Lego Batman icon? If so, I love it. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. There is a new Lego game. You're right. You're right. You're right. Lego for May. Yeah, I didn't get it. Let's see what's going on here. So, starting off with the Energy Muse. Now, I keep calling it Energy Muse even though it's just Energy Oracle. Why do I want to call it Energy Muse? But anyway, every time. First off, we got Rest and Rejuvenation. Interesting. Interesting. Wonder why this popped up. If you sub or gift sub on someone's channel playing the new game, you'll get the badge. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the funds for that right now. Otherwise, I totally would do that. Oh, if somebody else did it. Okay. I just got it now. Yeah, I haven't tuned into anybody who's played the game yet, so I don't think anybody who's... I mean, the only person that I can really think of is Ginger Tap, because like she played the Lego Star Wars games for May the 4th, but right now she's on a Hades kick, so I doubt I'm gonna be able to get the badge in time. But anyway, continuing on with Momo's reading here. So, Rest and Rejuvenation is the first one. I never gotten this one before. This is interesting. This card shows a man in a meditative and tranquil state. The message here is that it's time to relax. You may have been busy lately, but you should soon be finding more time to just let go. When you do, allow yourself to go within and open up to the peace and wisdom that is vibrating there. This card upright indicates that there should be more leisure time for you now, and more of an opportunity to engage in peaceful thinking. So make it a priority. Your connection to spirit brings great assistance, but it can only be achieved through regular relaxation and meditation. Now is a great time to make sure you insert this gentle activity into your daily life. In many ways, this is far more productive than unceasing action. So... one part of it could be like almost like a manifestation of like if you've been going through a lot of stuff in your mind. Sometimes that can sometimes it can manifest as activity, like spiritual activity sometimes, especially if you've like lost touch with like meditative practices or whatever usual practices that you do to like feel centered. So that could be one thing that could be going on. There's something else I had in my brain. I just totally forgot what it was. Sometimes I don't know if you've heard of like tulpas. Though in this case, I think more accurate thing would probably be like servitors, since like they're much more simpler. Sometimes like certain emotions or certain experiences can like pop up as like tulpas or servitors, like manifested beings of like a certain idea or essence. Tulpas take a lot more work, so it's very serious. But like servitors are much easier to manifest, or egregores. Although granted, egregores are more collective. Servitors are more individual. What could be sometimes entity could come up as like as a kind of like more complex entity could be servitors. So part of it could be, again, getting back to a very calm meditative state to like get these energies back under control. It's like one way of looking at it. Let's see what else we got here though. Ooh. Got the temple path. Again, never pulled this one. It's pretty though. So here's what we got. Temple path. Spiritual purpose and support. Interesting. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple and a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. This card upright is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all part of your soul's process. You're on your karmic path and heading in the right direction, and the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple represent the spirit world. Your family members and friends, angels and guides, all the loving spirit helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful life-expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways. And connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. Also, give me that matcha chocolate. That sounds good. Anyway. Anyway, telepath. Actually, come to think of it, do you remember that reading I gave you one-on-one? This might be what it's referring to. I think it might be a signal to say, yeah, it's time for you to tap into this thing. Telling you to pick up the phone and chill the F out. I'm stopping. Sometimes it's just that. It's like, remember you are not alone in this. It can be that. Something as simple as that. But yeah, I feel that also it's like, I feel like there might be coming up because it's like a signal for you to like, okay, tap in. Remember what I wrote? Remember what I wrote? That's all I'm gonna say. Remember what I wrote. I doubt it, Cal. But okay, so the goddess card that I pulled for you for the next card that I got for you, Momo, it's Rhiannon. There's another possibility that I just thought of. I didn't feel like mentioning it, but I feel like I might need to mention it. Actually, no, I can't. For some reason, I can't mention it. But I think you know who it is. I think you know who it is, Momo. Because Rhiannon is the Celtic goddess of magic, but also she's kind of like Anubis. And like she's like the wayfinder, the guide for when people or spirits are about to cross over. And gods of horses too. Yeah, in fact, like she's often conflated with Epona. So yeah, Epona is not just a Zelda term; it's also a goddess of horses. But yeah, here's what Rhiannon has. The quote underneath says, "You're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality." And yeah, Epona is dramatic, but they're often complete. They're like, she and Rhiannon are often conflated together. So it's really interesting. But anyway, message from Rhiannon. A large part of my power stems from my connection to animals and nature. If you've been indoors too long, you can recapture your personal power by simply stepping outside. This simple notion will do you a world of good in reawakening your sleeping magical nature. Allow the light of the sun, the moon, and the stars to stir ancient memories that may be dormant. Recall the times of your magical abilities and then put them to use immediately for the good of the entire planet. Resume the mission that was once aborted through the misdeeds of past time leaders. Take up your spiritual arms and move with swift speed into the night, awakening one and all to the magic that is life itself. This is a mission that must be accomplished, and you're the one who can help us with it. Various meanings include: have absolute faith that your dream is manifested, make a clear decision, put your energy into manifesting your dreams, know that you deserve to receive good. When you win, others win too. Keep your thoughts focused on your desire and away from fear. This lunar Welsh goddess name means Great Queen, as she serves important functions, including being the muse of inspiration for poets, artists, and royalty. I really think of the Fleetwood Mac song. She lovingly carries souls from Earth to the afterlife plane upon her trusty white horse, helping them adjust to the transition of life after death. A shapeshifter, Rhiannon can appear to you as an animal, bird, or song. Call upon her for help with manifestations, spirit communication, transitions, or artistic inspiration. You've been inside for too long. They for real told me to touch grass. That's one part of it. The other thing is, well, she's also a spirit communicator. And if it is who I think it is, I think it might be worth giving Rhiannon a call. Just a thought. So, the final card for you and for the evening. Okay, it's the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. It is the most... It can be, depending on which context you tend to hear it from, it could be the most saddening, but simultaneously the most relieving card. I actually used to enjoy this card quite a bit, actually, because I mean, I think of the game Wheel of Fortune and not so much the Wheel of Fortune as in like ancestors go touch grass, Momo sees grass, he's the hell the Jupiter card. Yeah, basically. So, the wheel. Destiny, the weaving of life's threads coming together, fate, turning points, movement, and change, patterns and cycles, an interconnected world. The knotwork in the stained glass window is a single golden thread without start or finish. So, the happiest and yet simultaneously sometimes can be the most saddest thing to hear is the reminder that this too shall pass. Regardless of what direction you see the wheel homing up in your life, the other thing you have to remember is this too shall pass. It's ephemeral. So whether it's a good thing or good, because I mean it's kind of subjective, a good thing or a bad thing that happens, or a meh thing, remember, it's going to pass. So I don't think these are permanent residents for sure. But I think they are here as a signal to, like, there's something that you need to hear from us. And take some time to listen. And maybe touch some grass while you're at it. There's stuff you gotta take care of, but there's also, like, you need to touch grass. But then also just the sense of, well, I mean, for me, I tend to see, like, Damara or Isolde as more of the not Damara. Yeah, Damara. I tend to see Damara or Isolde as more of the touch grass cards for me, but maybe for you it might be your touch grass card. But yeah, yeah, I think whatever rituals that have been upset recently, because I'm sensing upset rituals. You might want to get back to it. I just read it now. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, the error is there. The error is there. But yeah, no teehee out of this. What teehee? What teehee? Oh god. But yeah, long story short, I think whatever, like, I know especially you've been through some stuff recently. And so I'm feeling like there's a message they have for you. And so you need to, like, slow down and allow yourself to, like, hear what it is. Teeheeing in the club right now. I love it. But yeah, I feel like there's a call for you to, like, really slow down and figure out what that is. I'm feeling Rhiannon, like the goddess Rhiannon especially, might have a message for you during this time. And again, if it's what I think it is, all the more reason. If it's what I think it is. But the other thing that I'm seeing is with this is I think the stuff that I read for you personally, I think it's relevant to you now. I think the things that I wrote for you now might be what's coming up. So I say give what I pulled another read, like another go through, and see what you glean from it this time. That's the thing I suggest. Well, on that note, I gotta get going before I start annoying my family about, like, when are you gonna eat something? Hurry up! That's like, okay. So, with that, the circle was ended, but unbroken still. My energy stays with me, your energy stays with you. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go raid route. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's stream. Hope y'all had an awesome night. I certainly did. So, next time, tomorrow, we're going to do the Oracle forecast, pools to prep for the work week, and I'm going to open it up to 7 people for whoever wants a reading tomorrow night. Monday, I'm hoping I'll be able to get access to Paralives, early access. You have an idea of who it is too? Okay. So like I don't have to explain much. But anyway, it looks like I might be able to actually record what I'm experiencing with early access Paralives. So keep an eye out for a video for that. If I don't manage to get a copy in time, or it ends up being contrary to what I think, then we will figure something out for Monday. Tuesday, we're going to come back to Star Wars The Old Republic. Wednesday, we're going to come back to Star Trek Online, finish that mission. Thursday, we're going to come back to Stronghold HD. And then Friday, we'll figure out what Friday's going to be. Charity of the season, to be determined. We're working on that. The Discord listening party we had last Friday was a huge success. Thank you. I will find a way to bring another one. The next one, especially in the summer, is going to be very tricky because I'm going to be abroad for most of the... Okay, I can DM you. I could DM you. That's no problem. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna like the next couple months are gonna be very tricky because I'm gonna be abroad, and for most of you, I mean, I think for the most of the Europeans in the audience, I think you'll be fine. I do have like there's also Peaches, who was down in Australia. Like she'd probably have she'd have the easiest time. Sugar Plums would have the easiest time tuning in because like she's in Australia. But like I know my fellow Americans are gonna have a hard time tuning in, so huge apologies. But we're gonna make it work. And then Queen Herbie's Isle of Queen tour. I'm going to see her show in August. So if you want to check out the stuff that I pulled, especially from like stuff that I tend to pull on Sundays, go see her on tour. It's worth it. From what I've been seeing, it's pretty incredible. So definitely worth it. And the fundraiser is coming to an end pretty soon. We just hit 50% as of today, I'm happy to say. Some expenses have been covered. Like I think the majority, like the pre-trip expenses have been covered, just those little bits, and then having enough to basically live day to day. That's going to be very important. So ways you can help out with that, you can continue tuning into the channel as per usual. You can donate via coffee or bits if you want to, totally up to you. And you could purchase the campaign items listed on the right side of the screen. Tomorrow there will be a discount code available, so if you find these prices a bit too high, that will be a way to discount it while still having enough that I can still travel. So deadline to purchase or reserve, this is May 31st, after which things will be changed up. So if you want to help support the trip, this is the time to do it. Finally, this is where you can find me outside of this channel. I got Blue Sky, I got Discord, I got TikTok, I simulcast on Twitch and YouTube. This other YouTube, Theological Otaku, is where I'm going to vlog when I am on my trip. In case you're more into written essays, I have a Substack, thirdnerd.substack.com, which reminds me I gotta write somebody after this, so coffee shop or donate. And if you're more into items, you can check out my throne wish list, throne.com/Tondercia. Finally, this episode was filmed in the homelands of the Nanticoke and Lenape peoples. If you want to find out more about tribal lands, whose lands you're living on right now, and ways you can contribute to the project, visit native-land.ca for more information. Okay, so with that, thank you again for tuning into my stream. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you all have an awesome rest of your day. And as always, may your heart be your guiding key. Till next time, I'll see you later. So for those who are live, stand by for a raid. And for those who are tuning in on YouTube or on replay, this is the end of the video. Bye, everybody. And for those who are curious about who I am rating, I will copy and paste the link here. Okay, root's still on. Okay, so gonna copy and paste the raid of the day. So for those who are on YouTube and want to check out the channel that I'm rating, that's for you. And for those who are on Twitch, stand by. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.